Hi, guys. Welcome back to another true crime podcast episode. Today's episode is focused on a case that happened in the summer of this year, August 2023. This case is focused on Maria Elena Gonzalez, who was an 11-year-old girl. She was born in Guatemala to Father Carmelo Gonzalez, and mother is Ana Elizabeth Zutumul. Maria and her father moved to the United States 4 years ago, while Maria's mother stayed behind in Guatemala with their other daughter, 7-year-old daughter Isabella. The reason for this is because Anna has a serious heart condition, so she felt it was best to stay behind. Anna wanted Maria to have a better future, experience America, and live a different lifestyle as opposed to the one in Guatemala. So she was so excited for Maria to relocate to the United States with her dad. Anna expressed that there wasn't much money back home in Guatemala, so for Carmelo to work in the United States, it would really help out the whole family back in Guatemala. So Maria and her father Carmelo immigrated to Florida and then moved to Austin, Texas. After Texas, they relocated to Pasadena, Houston. They moved to Pasadena to be closer to family, as Carmelo's brother and sister-in-law were already living in the same main village apartment. This move also allowed Maria to be closer to family and grow closer to her cousins, who were close to her age, as she was adjusting to being away from her younger sister and mom. Maria is described as a very good girl, a quiet girl, and a very independent child. A few weeks prior, Maria celebrated her birthday with family and neighbors. They had a cake, and it was a fun outdoor celebration event, and Maria absolutely loved it. Even though Maria was close to family and her cousins, it seemed as if Maria was missing her family back home. Maria was not enrolled in school, as Maria was set to return back home to Guatemala in October 2023, which Maria herself had requested. So it really seems like she was really missing her hometown, her sister, her mom, and her other family members. It's not always easy moving, especially to a different country, while leaving behind half your family at such a young age. Though no one could ever predict the events that were about to occur. Maria would not make it back home to Guatemala to reunite with her mom, sister, and family. On August 12th, Maria and her dad woke up. Everything was normal. It was a normal Saturday. Carmelo went to work, and Maria was left alone in the apartment. Approximately 30 minutes later, at about 10 o'clock a.m., he arrived at work. At 10:02 a.m., he started to receive several voice notes on WhatsApp from Maria. She said that someone was knocking at the door. Carmelo asked if the person entered the apartment, and Maria said she didn't know because she was in her room. Carmelo insisted on Maria to not answer, but he no longer heard back from Maria.
Pensaba que me estaba tocando la puerta.
¿Y se entró o qué?
No sé, no he visto, estoy aquí en el cuarto, estaban tocando.
As the day went on, Carmelo still had not heard from Maria. So once he got on his break, he called his brother, Maria's uncle, Ronaldo Gonzalez, and his sister-in-law, to see if they could go check on Maria as they lived in the same complex. They both went right away to check on Maria. Before even entering the apartment, things already didn't seem right. The door was unlocked, and once entering, they noticed sugar and coffee was spilled on the couch, so things felt very different and things were out of place. Ronaldo thought, quote, "What happened here?" quote. They continued to look, but there were still no signs of Maria. They informed Carmelo that they couldn't find Maria. Once Carmelo returned home at approximately 3:00 p.m., he quickly went into the apartment and instantly noticed things were out of place and not right. He noticed that the laundry basket was missing. He thought perhaps Maria decided to do laundry, and that's why the basket was missing. And perhaps this explains why Maria was missing too. They continued to look around the apartment to see if anything else was missing. That's when they looked under the bed and found the laundry basket. Inside the laundry basket was a black garbage bag, and inside this garbage bag was the lifeless body of 11-year-old Maria Gonzalez. Police and an ambulance were dispatched to the location. However, there was absolutely nothing they could do to bring back Maria. After an autopsy was conducted, it was revealed that 11-year-old Maria Gonzalez was SA'd, strangled, and suffered blunt force trauma to the head. According to the Pasadena Police Chief Josh, the apartment showed no signs of forced entry, and the door was left closed but unlocked when Maria's uncle and aunt first checked on her. Maria's dad was quickly ruled out as a suspect as his alibi checked out being at work all day. Police did find it very suspicious that within 30 minutes of Carmelo leaving for work, Maria received someone knocking at the door. However, the Pasadena Police Department still had no potential suspect in mind. Authorities did have a clue to go off on. A key was found inside the Gonzalez's apartment that did not belong to Maria or to any of her family members. Pasadena police turned to the community, but some members of the community were afraid to speak and cooperate with police due to immigration status, which created a problem for the investigation as people feared being deported. The Pasadena chief did provide assurance that anybody's immigration status was not a factor in this case and that the focus was strictly on Maria and bringing justice for Maria. Even though some were reluctant to cooperate, they did have members from the community volunteer and provide DNA samples. For this next piece of information, I did change the apartment room numbers to pseudonym apartment numbers as I was worried about the privacy of these residences. However, the apartment numbers are published publicly. I'm just being extra careful as these are real people's lives and it did happen recently. It has been documented that Carmelo actually recalls that when leaving for work on Saturday, August 12th, he noticed a long-haired neighbor talking on their cell phone in a stairwell between Maria's apartment number 1A and another neighbor's apartment number 2A, which both apartments shared the stairwell. Maria lived in apartment 1A and the neighbor lived in 2A. Upon further investigation, the key that was found in Maria's apartment that did not belong to Maria's apartment or to any of Maria's family members. When police knocked on apartment number 2A, they quickly noticed that the locks had been changed. The person living in this apartment did tell police that they had to change the locks because his roommate, 18-year-old Juan Carlos Garcia Rodriguez, had just moved out only 2 days after the murder of Maria. Juan told his roommate that he started a new job and refused to return his copy of the door key. I'm not sure why he refused to return the key. I couldn't find any information if Juan had a falling out with this roommate, but the key was not returned. Due to this, the roommate took it upon himself to change the locks for safety as Juan was no longer residing at this address. The roommate cooperated and gave the police the old lock, which was a perfect match to the key that was found in Maria's apartment. Prior to leaving the residence, Juan was interviewed by investigators, and they described Juan as invasive, which means that he responded to their questions with avoidance. The police did not know at the time of interviewing Juan that the key matched his apartment until after he had left the residence. Pasadena police quickly put out a search warrant, and tips of sightings of Juan were submitted. Upon hearing this news, Maria's mom, Anna, released a statement, quote, "She was good where she was. They did not have a right to take the life of my angel. I ask that they find who did this to my daughter and that they give him a life sentence if possible, because they caused me great pain. Because until they find him and show his face, I will not be calm because he took the life of my angel." Quote. Within 1 week of Maria's passing, Juan was arrested in Louisiana and was being extradited back to Texas. Upon his arrest in Louisiana, Juan told Louisiana police that he was forced to commit the crime at gunpoint by 2 other males. However, there was no evidence to support that anyone else was involved in this crime. So it seems that Juan has not truly confessed to what he did or showed any remorse based on the information I found online. Juan Carlos Garcia Rodriguez is the only suspect named by police. Juan is being charged with capital murder in Texas and faces life imprisonment or the death penalty. He is currently being held without bond. Maria's dad has shared that he will not find closure until Juan admits his wrongdoings, but that he's still thankful to the Pasadena Police Department. Quote, "We want to say thank you to the Pasadena Police Department and to the Louisiana Police Department and any officials that participated in bringing this cold-blooded murderer into custody. The arrest has brought the family and community some peace. We are extremely thankful that he cannot cause this type of pain to anybody again. I ask for those who are in charge to give us justice. May he be burdened with the full weight of the law for what he has done to my daughter." Quote. This arrest was a bittersweet moment and provided Maria's family with some closure and a step in the right direction. Maria's body was flown back to Guatemala, where she was reunited with Maria's mom and the community. There were hundreds of people present as Maria's body was carried back in a pink casket. People from around the world showed support for Maria's family by raising almost $70,000 on a GoFundMe page to help with the funeral arrangements and the return of Maria's body back to Guatemala. Barbecues and a benefit concert were held to provide further support for Maria's family. Maria's family have expressed gratitude and are deeply grateful for the support during this extremely difficult time in their lives. There are so many questions that are still unanswered, like why did this happen? Have Juan and Maria or Maria's family have any prior interaction with Juan? Did Maria unlock the door? What did he say to get Maria to even open the door, as Maria's dad did tell Maria not to open the door? What was the motive behind this crime? How could anyone do this to an innocent child? There are so many more questions that I'm sure we all have, and I truly hope it's answered over time, as the case is still open and pending. This case breaks my heart. Maria was only 11 years old. She was new to the country and was so excited to go back home to reunite with her mom and sister. I don't understand how someone could do something so terrible to her when she did nothing to deserve this kind of ending. She deserved to grow up and live a fulfilled life, but she didn't even get the chance to live. My thoughts and prayers go out to Maria's family. I truly hope for the justice that Maria and her family deserves will be delivered. I will continue to stay updated with this case, and I'll keep you guys posted with any new updates or changes that occur. Now that's all I have for today. Please comment below if there's any other information that I missed, as I did my very best to research using credible public articles and videos. A kind reminder to please be mindful of negative comments, as these are real people's lives. All I want to do is bring light to cases that are not always talked about and advocate for victims and their families. Also, if you have any recommendation on cases that you'd like to suggest, please comment below in the comment section. Until the next case, please stay safe, look out for one another, and always spread kindness.